Good evening, everyone. It's story time. I think I finally figured out a good topic to discuss for a lengthy YouTube video, and that's what we'll be going over tonight. Tonight, we will be discussing how gay sex went down in the military under the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy and during Operation Iraqi Freedom. So this conversation might get a little graphic. So if you're uncomfortable with, you know, talking about a finger in the booty or trying to tickle somebody's balls or something like that, you might need to switch to another video. Okay? You might need to switch to something where they're talking about some tariffs or something. But anyway, I said it was story time. And I mean it. So once upon a time, there was a LGN, a low gay nigga, me. And I was in the military. I went into the military very young, at age 17. And I, remember when you go in, they make you sign a paper. Back in those days, they said, and I remember reading it, and it said if you cannot hold hands with somebody of the same sex, you can't basically you can't be fucking another man in the ass. Basically, is what the fucking paper said. And I remember reading that, and I just felt bad because I was like, well, because in my head I knew I was a gay person. And I was like, what if I get caught? Like, I feel wrong signing this, but I really have no choice. Like, what else am I going to do? So, I did what a lot of people did in those days, and I was in the closet. But once you're in the military, you start running into these other gay folks now. You start running into some of these homosexuals in the military, and you're young. One thing leads to another. So I remember, when was the first time I had gay sex in the military? I'm trying to think. So I was stationed at Montana, and I went to go eat at the chow hall because that's when you're living in the dorms on the base, you can go over there and eat, and you don't gotta pay because you're broke as fuck. And I remember sitting at the table. Anyway, we had some sex, shit, but so you gotta keep it on the low, because the don't ask, don't tell policy was in effect. And you know what was crazy? Look, the universe maximizes irony. I believe that. This motherfucker's dorm room was right across the hallway from mine. And we was up in there breaking policy. Violating U.S. Code P69, probably up in there. But, and then some people knew about it because people know, people are nosy. People try to find. I got outed. Actually, I got outed. Now that I think about it, I got outed in Iraq. That's where some other gay sex was going down. I got outed in Iraq because I slipped. I thought I was good, but you see, people are so nosy, you're going to slip eventually. Because when I was stationed in the UK, I got outed. I used to love going to London on the weekends. And when I figured out how to get on the train, take the taxi to the train station and take the train to London, it was a wrap, baby. Because I wasn't trying to stay on the base. What am I gonna do? Pretend to chase pussy or some shit? Come on, man. I wasn't trying to do that. I wanted to go to the club. You know, but you got to keep all that shit on the low. And one of the names of the clubs that I used to go to in London was called Club Heaven. I think it's actually it's the biggest gay club in Europe. So coming from small town Georgia to that was definitely a culture shock. But anyway, how I got outed. I slipped up and told the folks that I work with, I was like, because they used to buy my business. Where'd you go this weekend? I said, I went to Club Heaven. And one of the dudes I worked with told his wife, and she looked up Club Heaven on the internet. And guess what it said? Gay club, baby. Gay, all day long. And then she was, so, you know, they must have been talking about it a lot. They must have been talking about me a lot, like most people do. But that's another story. All up in my damn business. And then we was eating at the in Iraq, and then I think he said, "You know what, Smith? I know you're gay because you went to that Club Heaven, and my wife looked it up, and that's a gay club." And then I just felt terrified because I'm like, okay, so what does this mean? Because it was terrifying coming out in the 90s or early 2000s was very scary for a lot of folks. So now it was out, and I was like, okay, what does this mean now? Like, if somebody gets mad at me, they can just like report me and kick me out for being a gay person. You know, I was concerned about that, but luckily, none of that mess never happened. I just kept having sex, and in Iraq, it was, you had to be creative when you were trying to meet somebody, you know, because I remember the most common way, I think this went for straight and gay people, the most common way people hooked up in Iraq, I was stationed in Balad, Iraq. Back in those days, they would write their email address in the porta potty with a short description of what they looked like underneath. So, for example, you would have somebody who could be like hot ginger boy, you know, with some numbers or whatever. And then underneath, you'd be like, yeah, you know, twink, ginger, or whatever, looking for some BBC. Gosh, I should have actually made one up. No, I'm kidding. No, that one was real. Not the email, but the situation. But yeah, you know, look, when you put a bunch of humans together somewhere, somebody gonna get fucked. Okay. I mean, people are just something else, okay? They're just something else. I think those are enough military stories for tonight. I can't think of any other ones. I don't think of any other. God. I'm not even gonna post this video because I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But I guess I just feel like putting everybody's business in the street tonight. The military. I don't know. I don't know if I would have stayed in still, if I could go back. I don't know. What a great experience for a young person from the country who didn't know anything about life. What a great experience. They taught me how to be a they taught me how to be a man who liked other men. There's a my favorite joke related to being gay in the military is in there was a movie called Mannequin that came out in the 80s, and it had a sequel, and there was a black actor named Meshach Taylor who played a character named Hollywood Montrose. Okay. And in the second movie, in the sequel, he spoiler alert for a 40 fucking year old movie, uh, he had to get somebody. The character in the movie is a very gay black man. Okay, and if you haven't seen any of these movies, I highly recommend it. But my favorite joke that Hollywood Montrose says in the movie when he's dressed up as a military man, trying to act. He's dressed up, and then one of his friends or something says, "Hey, I didn't know you were in the military." And Hollywood says, "Oh yes, honey. They were looking for a few good men, and so was I." Oh, I wish I wrote that joke. Oh my god, that shit just that makes me laugh to this day. Oh, I love those movies. I love those movies. I might come out. Look, the show I gotta do Thursday. I might come out to his song. They need to play that shit. I might come out to that Thursday. I I'm in a show every Thursday in Las Vegas at Hamburger Mary's at 8 o'clock. It's a mixture of drag queens and stand up comedians. I'm one of the stand up comedians. I don't do drag, but they let us. We have a lot of freedom and. A lot of freedom with creativity and stuff. I come out to an entrance song every week, and I might use one. I might use one of the songs from the movie I just talked about. I might do that. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's enough story time. I can't think of any more other interesting military stories. I'm starting to forget a lot of that shit. But it was lit. It was lit, baby. Going to London every Friday night. Boy, overdrafting that account. When you got that paycheck, baby, I was gone. Got the hotel booked, everything. Fresh clothes from French Connection on Oxford Street. Go back to the hotel after have my little dinner by myself. Go back to the hotel, freshen up. The sunset, baby. I was out on the town. 18 years old, pocket full of cash, American accent, looking clean, fresh, all that. Baby, they didn't know what to do with me at Hogwarts, okay? Dumbledore looked at me and said, "Oh, you're one of those fresh niggas. You're one of them fresh looking niggas." Cause I was, what, And I'm still not a bad looking dude. You know, I think I look good. You know, for 40 years old. You know, I'm not over here struggling. You know, cracked like other people my age. um, you know, because some people don't age well. Like at all. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe get your damn Botox appointment scheduled. Out here with that fucking looking all leathery and shit. Got that walking around with that new car smell. Come on, baby. The folks crack. That's why you have to take care of yourself. You know, you gotta moisturize. Um, you gotta exercise. You gotta eat right. Cause shit creeping up on folks. I just got done watching the Club Shay Shay, Shake Shack, whatever you call that show. Miss Netta. I mean Shannon Sharp. Um, he had Damon Wayans on. I watched the Damon Wayans interview, and I didn't know Damon Wayans had diabetes. Yeah, type 2 diabetes, and he said he had a tumor on his pituitary gland, and they removed it. I was like, my God, man. But he looks great. He's 65, I think. He looks great. He looks like he's my age. He's just got the white goatee. He looks great. I thought it was a great interview. My only little complaint about that interview was because I'm a huge Paul Mooney fan. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney. I wish he would have came up more in the interview. They did mention him once, but because he was just like such an important person in comedy, you know, Paul Mooney. But I mean, so is Damon Wayans and stuff. So it's a good interview. I highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. I normally don't watch Club Shay Shay, but I had to watch that one because that's an iconic man. Anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night. And I'm going to do this the official way, not the ghetto way, and I don't want to touch the phone, so bye-bye. Oh, it's still recording? What? Oh, come on. This is so embarrassing. Okay, like the little blue light is on. Whatever. I gotta go. Oh, like and subscribe to the channel. I really want to get 500 subscribers soon. I'm so close. So thank you all for watching and subscribing. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. I gotta go. Bye.